ESL One New York.
ESL One New York continues as we look to lock in another team for the Barclays Center. We get to see G2 versus NRG after Gambit surprised versus Na'Vi. We're live from the Big Apple, and this isn't my job. I'm here to cast, and I can just relax, I guess. Trace, sorry about that. It's on you, man. It's all you.
Yeah,
you can tell he's a rookie. He's already got his mic cable in front of him.
Yeah, it's like his first time on the camera.
Yeah.
What a noob, or a knob as they'd call him.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, enough turning all the knobs and the dials. We do have one more best of 3 here in the Big Apple, just as the man said himself. It's going to be NRG and G2 squaring off in a decider matchup here to determine who's going on to the Barclays Center and who's going to QQ in their rooms all night trying to figure out what happened and why it all went wrong. You guys might note there's a fresh face over here. Had a good night I did here, and Chad is who I'm talking about. But Maniac as well, though.
I'm very excited. It's the first time I get to be on the desk when G2 is playing.
Oh, here's a bit of nationalistic. Oh, yeah, he's Swiss. It's not even really. Just his friends.
Yeah.
He's friends.
They're like really close kind of geographically, right? So
yeah, they're like next door to each other or something.
Yeah, even some of those mountain things that go through.
Well, they ski to one another, I think.
I'm not entirely sure about that.
The Swiss Alps, the French Alps.
How about this? We do have the opportunity to hear from one player that has been known throughout the history of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, at the very least, to have a very big impact when he has come online. We do have an interview with Shocks. Let's see what he had to say.
That's right, Stunner. I am joined by G2 Shocks. Now, yesterday you guys played against Liquid. Obviously didn't go your way, but I was speaking to Malik before, and he was saying you guys got this more relaxed, kind of calmer approach. You still seem positive within each other. So just how are you feeling, kind of the team atmosphere at the moment?
Definitely good. I think Malik brings us a lot of, as you said, positive approach, which we really need, because it's been, I mean, it's really tough for us these times. So it's really important to keep the positive way and just to trust in each other. So even if yesterday, of course, like everything didn't go how we wanted because we lost 2-0, we still showed some really positive things. For example, the city side on Inferno. So the objective is just to remember that, to capitalize on that, and to bring this attitude and this atmosphere, which make us play a good CS, I would say, like the maximum, ideally like the world best of 3 is. This is the objective.
Well, thank you very much, Shocks. That's all we got time for. I know you're ready to get into the game as well. Stunner on the guys, let me know what you think about that. It seems like a very positive G2.
Right. So Kenny S. Body, Smith's existence, and Shocks there, as you've seen as we highlighted him. We do have just a short amount of time for we're going to be able to get into the game here. So, again, this is a best of 3. Let's go ahead and get right out in the open with some win parameters on either side. And I guess we'll give you G2 as well as NRG over here for you, Chad.
Hooray. You can go first. Yeah, the first can go first, yeah.
Okay, so win parameters for G2, obviously I think Shocks and Kenyas both firing on all cylinders. I think their overall idea behind the team is to have these 2 players playing to their superstar level that it can bring. Also, I think Buddy needs to do a lot. I don't think we talk about him so much, but in my opinion, he's supposed to be that 3rd player. You know, he's supposed to be the flamey almost of G2 if you consider Electronic and Simple. Buddy has to do a lot of work. And then Existence as an in-game leader, having the right ideas at the right time.
Now, Chad, I'm going to interrupt you before you get your little bit in here when it comes down to NRG. We do have the vetoes coming up on the screen, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But, Chad, kind of give us a VO, if you will, about why NRG could face off very well here.
Those bans are standard. I think NRG are going to be more than happy to be playing Cage. That's one of their stronger maps. They have a 100% win percentage on that in the last 3 months. The Overpass pick is a punish pick from NRG here. The 3rd map is most likely to end up on something like an Inferno.
Smells like
feeling.
Inferno would be a good middle ground for both teams, in my opinion.
Both teams should be relatively happy with that. Just to reiterate the point, G2 definitely doesn't play Train, and NRG, they have dabbled with Dust 2, but that is the map where G2 have shown most promise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going into this veto, I think NRG was in a much better position. They had much more room for decisions which map they wanted to play, the punish they wanted to have. G2 doesn't really have that possibility. They have to ban Train, everybody knows. And even Mirage is still in it. G2 is probably going to get rid of Mirage. I don't think they're going to let it through. But I mean, if you end up on Cash, Overpass, and Inferno, I think NRG is pretty happy with the veto overall.
Yeah, I don't think they should risk nuke as the last map, even though that's one of those maps where they could just have like a massive CT half and lock you out. We all know what Kenny can do on guard with the AWP. So Inferno would be the safer bet, but it maybe leans more towards G2, actually.
I don't know if G2 had the time to prepare nuke right field. You know, as T
True.
play nuke, you need some B plans, you need a lot of tactics. So maybe NRG could take a risk and go for nuke.
Well, they're in 2 places at once. That's crazy. They're like teleported.
The fastest man alive.
That's insane. We got the flash on screen. But yeah, I think this map pool, you know, G2 don't have a lot of strengths going at the moment. They're still proving themselves to us. And exactly like Maniac has said, it has to be the Kenny and Shock show. That's the way this team is built, with body chipping in.
Guys, we've got cash and we've got under 30 seconds. So who's going to win this one, Chad?
2-0 for NRG.
And for you, Maniac?
I'm going to go 2-1 NRG.
Okay, so you give them a little bit of space to run with. Just enough, one might even say, to hurt themselves with. You never really know, but what we do know is we're going to cash. We do have Pansy and the Machine himself to bring us here this G2 and Energy bout.
Thank you guys on the desk, and not much faith in G2. A 2-1 was the best they're giving them.
Yeah.
Quite harsh. I feel, I guess, a little bit maybe, I guess, stained from what we saw yesterday, and I think realistic may be the case. Again, there's all that potential, and we see it time and time again. We look at those names, but right now, not delivering. Let's see if this round kind of stays true to that, or it looks like G2 are going to start this one off well.
All right, we got to cast their cash. In fact, the last game we casted yesterday, so I'm excited to see if they can perhaps fix some of the mistakes that were exploited versus Team Liquid yesterday. So they did manage to start oh so strong, and as they do it again, fantastic pistol work so far. It was Smith's to find one, and Body's got himself a double as well. Just daps on the site, and that is the end of that one. A real easy situation for G2 to close out, but the bomb goes down, so there is a little bit of something special for NRG. They'll have an extra cash coming into this next round, or perhaps they'll go for that nice third round buy.
Liking this. I want to see a bit more.
I need to take this jacket off. It's boiling in the
It's a
studio.
bit warm, isn't it?
Hang on a second.
Get it off.
Let me stop making.
All right, he's just going to sort his jacket out. Just a second. Got to, you know, settle ourselves in. This could be a nice run here for either of these sides. I think NRG do have the backing of the desk, and I can imagine a lot of you at home as well. But G2. Hey, it's cash. There's things in mind that make you believe for a second or two, but they did show a lot of issues, especially yesterday, and we saw that it kind of being depleted on other maps. It became very close, of course, but within that time frame, within this map, it was not their best showing.
No, but they did have, you know, I think the flaws being identified from G2 in their previous game were that they have clear moves, but it does seem like things can get a little lost when that doesn't go to plan, when the initial play, when the initial start is not executed well on their CT side. They just got ripped apart by Liquid with these defaults.
Yeah, and it was occasionally you'd see that aggression really working out for them. For example, I think it was that main play that came out that caught them off guard on, and they were able to push really far up. I think Shox was there, you know, really committed to it. That one worked out, but then when we saw the amount of times that Kenny would get punished, or, you know, things would go wrong, and very hit and miss on that. But we haven't seen that yet. It's still very early days, and they're just trying to wait out this NRG side. Shox does receive a fair little tag, nothing too much. He's still perfectly fine. It sounded worse than it was.
It's brave from Ethan to be taking that fight, P250 versus M4, and actually the trade does go out in his favor, and it's converted. Zerk joins his comrade on the boost, and now they have a man advantage charging towards Existence now. No flashbang, it didn't quite land on Existence, and instead he'll stay sturdy. Kenny S with the FAMAS as well, just keeping him at arm's length, and it should be no sweat. Oof, great adjustment with the P2K towards the squeaky door. Finds another head, and that will be G2's second. But no complaints, he took an M4 out of the running, at least short term. And now the question remains is, do they buy? With the bomb planet in the first, it does look like they will. They'll have to sacrifice some nades to do so, and no one making the full sacrifice of going to the SMG, which suggests we're going to be seeing something quick and something planned.
Okay. Eyes towards it.
Let's have a look.
I'm excited to see what NRG do as well. Like,
They're really cool, yeah. So if you haven't kind of got to see too much of them recently, you've got a North American roster that everyone was surprised not to see at the major. They had a couple of shortcomings in the minor. A lot of people expected to see them there and to see them surprise. Not to be, but definitely not to be forgotten about either. NRG, a squad who have been rising from strength to strength over the course of 2018.
Yeah. I used to love watching Ethan and some of the other players around there. I think Kusta, obviously not in this roster, but he was one of the players I thoroughly enjoyed watching. You see so much talent amongst these guys, but you can see a bit of a lean towards A2. The very least, you have two towards Squeaky, and you have two towards Main, and Fugly just kind of holding the back lines for the T side, ensuring that no one's kind of on the flank all the way around the back. But it does seem as though it's going to be a matter of time until a hit happens. Kenny's fallen away from sight, so maybe kind of posturing more towards a safer position. considering the retake, maybe rather than holding. They have so much utility to do so. I do not blame them one bit.
And worth mentioning that no info has been taken really with them smoke middle, Shox in vents, and finally Existence is going to get first contact. Kenny S gets another. They're keeping them at distance and managing to get the frags as well. Cirque changes things though. NRG get one back. Still the numbers in favor of the CTs as now the push is in, as is the plant. Daps, the man behind that. And now this is where the absence of utility is going to be difficult. You've got to keep those CTs at bay, and there's going to be Molotovs and players charging towards your location. Shox into a 1v1 with Fugly, wins it spectacularly.
Mechanically so good, isn't he? Just the flash peeking right off the back of it now. The rest of NRG are in trouble. You're being surrounded on all fronts. Existence is having a game too. That's a scary prospect, isn't it? 2-2. You're seeing Shox and Existence picking up 2 there. And the scoreline is certainly not that. It's going to be 3-0 pretty soon. G2 looking very good so far. NRG looking a little flat in that round. It seemed like, theory-wise, all good, fine. Got bomb plant, got, you know, decent after-plant positions, but we only really saw Cirque, the one to assert his dominance.
And not much fragging. Worth mentioning, if you take a look at that scoreboard, you can see it on the right-hand side of your screen. Just 3 frags in total for NRG so far. Of course, that round was the chance for them to start collecting aside from the pistol. And talking of pistols, that's what they're equipping themselves with now as we venture into our 4th. It's going to be just 4 CZs and a Desert Eagle for Breeze. Hey, that rhymed. And they're going to be looking to do something similar to what they did on the weapon round. Looks like they're gathering towards A. No initial intel gathering from the CTs elsewhere, so this will be working. However, an AWP ready to receive them. They're going to hope and pray that that one smoke grenade does its job. Daps has deployed it.
I mean, you know what's happened here. You know that there was no one playing directly on site in that last round, so it's not a bad idea to try and get a plant out of this. That's pretty much what you're going to get. And for now, bomb goes down, somehow still alive.
With 1 HP, Ethan gets that bomb down. If that nade had done 1 more point of damage, the bomb's loose. So they're going to be thanking their lucky stars. Another bomb plant for NRG, but closing this round out, that's going to be a mammoth task. Daps has to do something with the lurk in
Good
mid.
flash. They're using the utility wallet. Like, this is the scary part where it gets down to this time marker, just because there's, you know, unforced errors can happen. Body, though, the first man in, the desk saying he needs to be a player in this. It needs to be a little bit more than what we saw. The flamey, as they like to say, but down to 3 is still alive. The bomb plant isn't perfectly for main, but it's good enough as the kills are coming in. And they are coming in thick and fast. What a play coming out in the end.
Fantastic work from Breeze there. 4 in that round. He even gets the AWP, and just before the bomb goes off, we venture into another round. NRG, they couldn't do it with AKs. They can with CZs and a couple of flashbangs. Fantastic stuff from the North Americans, as that's an important round. G2, they could have started to just accelerate through this first half, but not the case. As they pick that one up, they pick up the AWP, and so did G2. A double AWP coming in early, as they're going to look to try and make an impact and try and just cut them down to size right off the bat. This is going to be a slower one from NRG, though. Bomb drop towards red. And we are in game, if we could bring that up. There we go. So, the setup has changed. Body and Shox now responsible for B. Interestingly enough, in the opening, it was Smiths who was the designated B player. I imagine the double AWPs have changed things, and as you can see, Shox is going to be playing rather aggressive angle into checkers. 3-2 split for the CTs. Fugly responsible for B, and a nice little late boost. They take advantage of the absence in main from NRG, and we'll get that uncontested.
It's a nice spot, isn't it? It's a big, heavy lean towards A, though, for G2, isn't it? They've
So
really,
early.
Yeah, they've really gone for that. Maybe feeling that this has been a consistent hit now from NRG. They have been leading there the whole time, so it's not a terrible idea. I'm wondering what these lineups are going to go for. I think that's the highway smoke, maybe a deep CT smoke on the cars. Kind of, I hate saying astrology, but it kind of was Fugly to find the first, but Smiths is the kind of ace up the sleeve here. He's the one who could be a real danger factor, but he gets checked on.
Fugly, he had a good read, good spot, and Kenny now kissing them in the smoke. You know, Luke dancing around. Good work from him as he's managing to find a frag and get away scar-free. Bomb will be going down, though. NRG put him in a 3v3. 2 frags already for Kenny. They start to close in. Body and Shox as well from the other side of things. These wall bangs actually do connect eventually. Kenny, oh, I can't believe it! Oh my god, 4 times the charm. A bullet through the wall and 2 bodies drop. That's the end of the round. Only Kenny can do things like that. 4 kills in the round, 2 of them in 1 bullet through a wall. Kenny S, eat your heart out.
What on earth is that?
That's
Play that back
naughty.
for us, please. Let's see that one again. Here we go. Okay.
Bang. That's
How
outrageous.
tilted are you when that happens? Like,
I've never seen that
livid.
before. Never seen a double kill into quad from a CT in Squeaky with the bomb down. That's brand new. That's brand new for me. That's great. Kenny S, the game changer. That was an NRG round.
That was done.
Yeah, he's changed that completely.
Bloody
Swivel on a
hell.
dime.
Bloody hell. Oh, NRG. That's, like, it's great to watch, but it's also, oh, now Kenny's like, all right, let me put on a show for you guys. Here we go. Got a nice little discount on those two, but I might have to work for these. You still have existence in a really good spot here. Kenny's still staying alive. Oh, he gets checked on. Really good clip. Hello, team kill. Daps does not like Ethan. Hear it here first. Shox under pressure, though, being forced away from this. You are going to get a bomb plant, but Body's positioning could be big in this if they get the timing right.
Yeah. Breeze is trying to find a safe haven. There isn't too much now as Body's presence towards Squeaky. Door will be closed. You'll have to announce his presence before he can start fragging. But the timing is everything. As soon as he swings that door open, Circuit's about adjustments and, oh, good cover.
Did they just time that with the flash?
They tried. Cirque just still managed to get one before he goes down, but Breeze again, he's been so instrumental. A double kill for him, and that's the round over. NRG, they have not been thrown off. They've had their fair share of cuts and bruises on this A site, but they keep coming here, and this time it works out. Bomb goes, and that's 2 for NRG.
Yeah, no miraculous double kill coming in out of nowhere. But it felt like they timed the flash really well to opening the door. I don't know if it was intentional completely, or if it was, you know, like the countdown to it, but that's really cool. I can even watch the replays of...
Oh, that's the
just get wrecked, isn't it? It was when they did the big documentary, and you'll hear like God be counting down the flash so it pops, so people know exactly when it's.
Yeah, of course.
I really like that. I really like those small bits of communication because you can do so many cool things with just like that little bit of knowledge of the exact timing, not just like I'm flashing main. You know what I mean? Just, it's really nice. Timeout being called. Tactical, I can imagine, from G2 potentially here because that A site has been a bit tricky. They had control of it for a while. They stacked it. They tried to boost it, but they haven't really completely dealt with it, and their money now has been depleted.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that aggression you referred to from the previous game, which was working versus Liquid, at least towards the end of their CT half, it's likely that's going to be the call from existence, just to try and basically get that early advantage. You certainly don't have the weaponry for it. For a drawn-out round, neither the utility. So perhaps an aggressive CT move. Not necessarily something that NRG will be surprised by, though. And in we go. Round 7, first map. One of these teams is going to the Barclays Center, meet the New York crowd, and a step closer, of course, to that 6 figures for first place.
Change up. Control. Yeah, this is new, Alex. We haven't seen too much of a lean towards this, so maybe this is them going, all right, they're going to try and counter what we've been doing towards A. Let's throw that curveball right back at him and try and hit B. But the problem is you do have Smith there. He's the one who's probably the least armored and the least geared up. That's a bonus. But Body is still around. He's the one who's got a FAMAS. He's got a bit of armor. So they're not complete pushovers here, but you're going to see Checkers taken over by the T side. The flashes and the mollies coming through from Sunroom. Smiths takes the timing and he does it really well. This is good positioning, real nuisance positioning. Kenny's got a bit of time now to dive through the vents. Can't get too far. We have Daps holding this down.
Solid work from Daps. He manages to kind of pick up the pieces, the shreds of the chaos the G2 tries to cause. Shox is there with the AWP, and great aggressive positioning from him. He catches Cirque, backs away, unscathed from that exchange. Existence quite the contrary, down to 19, as he's still a little unsure. Bomb loose in the B site. NRG, they do hit the brakes, and it seems like they're going to be grouping up again. G2 have been given the gift of time by NRG. Bomb yet to go down. That will change soon, though. Daps going for a safe plant. He still doesn't. That's just evidence that they don't know where those CTs are. Not planting optimally for the after plant instead. Just wanting to do so safely.
Fugly's position is so good now. He's taken a bit of a risky choice to kind of go all this way around, but now he can relay the information. All right, it's got to be vents. It's got to be T. Just you know, lock it down where you're at, and Daps can help him out with that and try and focus on those angles. Now Shox, you can see they're working their way in. Noise can be made. They know now Checkers is at least one part of the problem, but can you find Shox? Are you aware of what this man can do? But time, Alex, is running low.
They really haven't got any. They're going to have to charge in now and AWP on the retake, and that's the end of that one. Fugly, great positioning, gets himself up towards heaven. It enables them to get a nice, easy close. And they maintain their weapons as well. Another round for NRG. You can see Daps, look at this. He had 0 frags coming into this, and great first frag. The fact that he positions himself straight in that corner, He's just gifted a back presented to him from Checkers. And a quick adjustment onto Kenny.
And the thing is, those 2 kills, they may look easy from his perspective, but if they'd gotten away with that, you'd have 2 players being
Very
real
much.
nuisances, being in positions you don't expect that could have kind of spiraled the round a little. And you've seen that knock-on effect of money. You said it just last round that they were really not in a good spot with it, and now we're seeing, what, 2K, 2.3, something around those markers. G2 are going to be suffering in this round, probably unlikely to get much out of it unless they can get those miracle couple of kills. But it's no Mirage, it's none of the stairs that we've been seeing the USPS do some wondrous work with. This is cash, it's very hard. There's a lot of long lines here that work very well for those AKs.
Yeah, this is very highly unlikely for G2. I'd give you a 99% win probability for NRG here.
I'll take that.
They're taking it super slow, and it's understandable as well. You just don't know what moves the CT is going to be trying to do. But fortunately, they can rule mid out. Clear out Shocks towards the Sugar Cube, and now they start to gather, perhaps even gathering that bomb. It looks like Cirque set his sights on that, and will be doing just that. Grabs it. Using that utility. It's much cheaper to clear the corners with your utility safely than drop an AK on the floor. Nice work from Breeze. Drops body. Oh, and look at this man work.
There
it
it
is.
is.
It is just against the unarmored CTs, but still precise from him to ensure this round is neat and tidy. They don't want to lose a single weapon. It's a lot of investment that just can be squandered. And that's going to be the end of the round. Yeah, Existence, he's hoping to just catch a cheeky surprise frag with the P2K, hoping to have a couple of backs presented to him as they leave the site, but instead he aggresses and is punished for it. 3 for Breeze in the round. Breeze or Breezy? I'm going to say Breeze.
I say
It's
Breeze
just so
because
much,
we're English.
it's so much easier than Breezy.
Breezy. Yeah.
Adding an extra syllable.
I'm sorry if it is Breezy. It may be, but it's just like
I'm
Breeze.
sure. Hang on, let me check my Twitter account if we get any angry messages.
Yeah,
saying
help us
it's
out.
Breeze.
Tweet angrily at Machine GG.
It's Machine Egg.
Machine Egg.
Yeah, looks like we're okay.
For now. Stream delay. It's coming. The tidal wave is about to crash. All right, we're back underway though. Let's keep focused. That mid-aggression, Shocks in Existence. We got something new coming out here. I like a bit of a switch up. And look at the Smiths as well. All these guys playing very attentive, barring Kenny. He's the kind of far back man. He's the last line of defense towards A, but Daps has an idea of what's going on. So does Ethan, apparently. This could be a big read coming out, whether they know it or not, really. Breeze is also watching for Shocks. Oh, the timing couldn't be worse, though, for the T side. Shocks does strike at the right time.
Love that. So smart from Shocks just to quickly tap away, playing the safe game. Fugly doing the same, though, as he gets the trade eventually, as Shocks tried to find safety. Nice work from Existence. He's rotated in from middle, and he's already managed to take Ethan down. And all of that ground he managed to gather has been taken back away from him by the Belgian in-game leader. Is he seriously going to get flashed into main? This is so hyper-aggressive, and he's being punished. It was a real sink-or-swim moment for the G2 side, and that changes things. Now, the numbers back in favor of the Ts. Smith's and Body. Either side of the map. Smith's responsible for A, Body hoping to get info should they rotate to B. Cirque's aware of that. He's not rushing.
So tough, this spot now. Body, he could be good for it.
Ouch!
Guess not.
Yikes.
Soz, mate. Alright, 3v1. Smiths, wrong bomb, pretty far away. Keep out of the rifle.
Yeah, they're walking B. No worries.
Well, it's the recovery mission from NRG. I'm kind of glad to see it, because I was a little bit worried that we were going to get, you know, a bit of a weird affair where G2 just keep going. We never saw NRG start. You know when teams like never feel they're off the starting blocks? I was worried we were going to get a bit of that. But actually, we're right back in this.
And they traded nicely. That was really cool. The fact that Fugly manages to punish Shocks for that counter boost, it was instrumental. Ethan, of course, first blood, a real fast one onto Kenny towards Fork. Although it didn't necessarily translate into more for Ethan himself, it did mean that the G2 defensive side had to accommodate for his absence. And that's going to be another round then for NRG. For those of you listening on the wireless, it's 5-4 on the T side for NRG. They're trying to hunt down Smiths, but he's safe on quad, so no worries there. That AK that he has preserved will come into the next round for the defense. But that's going to be pretty much their hardest hitting weapon. You take a look at their money. G2, they're going to be struggling. Perhaps Smiths might want to consider dropping that AK to one of their harder hitters. We'll see. A choice for them to be making. Certainly not us. And so round 10, you can see that was the score. That's the trade from Fugly. If he hadn't have just taken that active angle, of course you can see that onto Body as well. Could have been a problem.
Yeah, really nice positioning from him, just holding that rotate spot. Either way, you know, catching the rotation or you know, the trade, should I say, and or the other side of things. Cirque to find existence to start with. We have a bit of a beginning now, but look at this aggression coming out, and that's with the only rifle they have, Alex.
If they don't throw nades, if they go quietly, they really can surprise and catch Cirque off guard. Of course, if it feels like a gamble, there's so often a T just waiting.
Daps might be watching it.
Daps does look like he's dead. Well, there you go. Exactly what I'm talking about. That's why.
Yeah.
You can't do it dry. He has a go anyway, and oh, nice work from Smiths. Precise. Pays a price. Down though to 48. So a 4v4, and they are trying to use that AK, but unfortunately by getting that frag, though it is good, it does say, hey, the only weapon we have is on the other side of the map. Bomb now starting to go towards B, as is Ethan. Really is. I mean, yeah, he's in a similar category to Naf in the sense of just when he's on.
Really exciting player to watch. It's so exciting when you find these like players that are not like I don't want to say they're like come-up players because he's really not. He's like established now, but like in the early days of it, it was just like every now and then he'd have that like one game where you see Ethan just go nuts, and people were still like, oh yeah, that Nate guy is pretty good.
I'm that guy. I definitely said Nate for a while.
You went for a little bit of Nate?
When you only saw it written down.
Yeah, and you're like,
can't blame me.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He's got an AK of his own, and he's going to take one out of the hands of Breeze as he lurks towards T-Spawn. This may not stay in his hands for long, though. They're going to double peek this. They're pushing towards T-Spawn as a unit, and that's one weapon out of the G2 hands. I think Smiths may save this for a second round in a row.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone close enough to really argue that fact. And they've stabilized. First 3 did go to G2. They had that little back and forth, couple of rounds, but this is now 5 on the trot. So it gets a little bit worrying. If you're G2, you need to start making an impression here in the gun rounds. I'm not sure what their money's going to be like, though. This should be a purchase regardless because of the round loss bonus building up, a couple of guns saved over. So they're going to be okay to purchase here, and they haven't been doing bad individually. I just want to see if they have an overall answer to NRG's presence because those A hits have been good. Well, that's nice. The mid control that they've now started to dabble with, we're starting to see a lot of new looks from NRG, which I like. It's a little bit more depth to it. So G2, where's the answer now?
Yeah, Ethan, a robot. No real answer to that. Plenty of good looks from NRG. You know, you were already referring to it, but they do have plenty of different ways to keep the CTs limited. At the moment, they don't really play an aggressive lurk. We saw Twist doing it, and it really did punish G2. They just have Twist locked in towards like Toxic, and he just stays there and makes things awkward. Not the same. Perhaps the wound still left, though, from that previous game, because we haven't seen any of the same, B-side aggression from G2 that we saw them experimenting with in their previous cash game. So maybe a wound left. And now let's see what's happening with this. 4 players leaning towards the A side for the teams. And with the door open, Kenny has a good opportunity, but he's not going to get it. Misses 2 shots and down to 16 HP.
Kenny knows he's in trouble now. As soon as that smoke goes up, where the hell are they going to be coming from? No support with him either. Now with Existence gone down, that site is all the T side. You've got to walk away from that. Give it up. You can't stay out there on your own. I know what you're like, Kenny. You're a phenomenal player, but this could be a save call. You're done for.
Wow, that's an early one as well. Good to see some restraint from G2. They realize.
Yeah.
And that looked far too easy for NRG. You walk in, one quick frag from Ethan.
And Bob's your uncle, eh?
And Bob's your uncle. There you go. Apparently, people don't know that one.
No.
We checked.
You're right. And I never think about that either, which is kind of the worrying part. I should probably consider it. It's like most people don't actually just go, yeah, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Who is Bob?
And he's definitely not my uncle. It's like 3 viewers out there whose uncle is actually called Bob, and they're like, wait, how do you know? How have you done that?
You know too much.
I'm looking at Fugly. I'm wondering if he is going to be pushing in. I get a lot of tweets telling me that I look like Fugly.
I was thinking he looks a bit like Tarek in this picture specifically. That's the only in this picture that I've seen it. Like, there's like the angle he's gone for. It's like a little bit like Tarek.
Yeah.
But it's only because of the like, it's not
the hair.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think you look that much like him.
There was a picture, I can't remember which tournament it was, but I got a barrage. I mean, he must have taken a very similar pose or something.
Oh, if any of you can find that and tweet at me, I'd actually really appreciate it. I like anything that makes Alex slightly uncomfortable. It's honestly like my weird
Well, when I was first getting tweets saying, oh, Machine, you look like Fugly, I was kind of like, wait a second, what?
Like? You mean?
You could say, I look Fugly?
Yeah. Great name, too. Like, can we just appreciate he's gone away with that name the whole time?
This whole time. This roster, though.
He's not a bad-looking dude, you know?
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
I didn't... Look, there's some very different features going on here, Alex, all right?
So 7-4 the score. NRG firmly in control of this one after the initial success of G2. They, of course, won the pistol and converted it to the initial 3. And then NRG had to swallow the pill of a reset, but that's not stopped them from managing to acquire what is essentially 6 rounds now back to back. Nice little boost on to look towards boost in the Z connector for the French, but nothing going to come of it just yet. No blood drawn. Posturing now towards B. It looks like it might be Breezy first contact. He's managed to gather a lot of ground towards Checkers, but this is where things get a little bit difficult. Smith's got a nice little off angle, but it's body to defend B. He is a turret on this B site. He always has been.
That nade from Shox finding Fugly so easy. Zerk and Daps not having much to be done in this. It feels like they are surrounded on all fronts. Surrender your weapons, you might as well. Try and get out of there alive. Zerk down to nothing, trying to make his escape, but you can see Shox round the back finds Body, even finding one more on 1 HP, and now Daps has to live that life too.
Yeah, he's going to be backing away. Happy to survive. He did get the frag onto Shox on the flank, but that's a B hit that did not work out, and all because of one man. Body, he gets 3 in the round. And yeah, I think that's actually something that I neglected to mention previously, but now I'm seeing it. I'm getting memories of Body being that B anchor. He's always been solid for the G2 roster ever since he joined. There's a reason he keeps surviving all of the roster shuffles in the French scene with that G2 jersey. They see something in him, and so did the desk, citing him as a win condition for this side.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's always curious, you know, what a player brings to a roster, even behind the scenes as well. You don't always know like how much a player can do. I think that's something in CS that it's still so hard to analyze. You can't see it, you can't hear the comms, you don't know what the everything that comes towards actually being a whole team that keeps people in the right place. But clearly, as I said, Body is part of the good stuff. He definitely has earned his place here and isn't going anywhere, it seems, for a fair bit of time. Anyway, into this round, looking at what we have here, money's still good enough with NRG to say the least. They've built up quite the funds, so they've got a nice buy here. And G2 on the other side, scoreline-wise, have done enough to recover, which is the main thing. 5-7 is looking way better than what it could be if they didn't get that pistol.
Yeah, this is where NRG can start to sabotage, though.
Sabotage.
Tune. Yeah, they played Intergalactic in the Wembley Arena.
Really?
Yeah, they had the
How
DJ,
did they get away with that?
the DJ in between breaks.
Oh,
so she was
remix
playing,
it.
yeah, it was like this sick remix of Intergalactic. Got everyone pumping.
Yeah, can we go listen to the Beastie
It's a
Boys later?
banger. Yeah, I'm up for it. Quick boost. It's going to give Shox the surprise factor if they do start to charge out. Of course, they'll be checking all the corners. They'll have to check towards Truck. They'll have to check that MBK corner. But he changes his mind instead. I think this might be a little bit of ill-timed aggression or not. What is that from Shox? He gets 2, doesn't anticipate the late arrival of Daps, so that will be the end of his run in this round, but he's done enough. Quick double kill, nice little spray. Catches NRG off guard, and that's the little moves that makes G2 so scary, so deadly on this CT side. Kenny bounding towards JCB. He's going to back away as well. Hyper-aggressive stuff from the French AWPer.
JCB! We're on backlot in middle. 2v2.
There's a song. It goes, I'm Luke, I'm 5, my dad's
I
Bruce
actually
Lee.
hated that song
Drives me
so
round
much.
and his
Don't
JCB.
stop it. I don't know what G2 can get out. This is going to be hard to play retake on. Kenny, obviously very capable, but we have Daps on the other side. Spots out at least one, probably knows there's more. He's going to show what he can do on towards Body, but you still have Kenny has to find. Rifle in hand, but clock is ticking. Molotov goes down. He's going to get the first, but oh, the cross. His mind was so drilled and focused on getting towards that bomb that he just did not consider it, and well, he didn't really have time for it.
Yeah, Daps was very aggressive from him. I suppose he realized that even if he does go down, it's enough of a time waste.
Yeah.
Draws his attention away from Breeze for the trade. And so it will be 8 then for NRG. They respond, not too shaken by the spectacular defense from Body. And so round 14, first map, last series of the group stages here in New York. Barclays Center around the corner and the spot for the winner of this series.
Did you host New York last year?
Not the last year, the year before.
Ah, okay.
But it was awesome.
Yeah.
Such a cool venue.
I can't hear you cast in the arena.
Oh my god, yeah. That is exciting.
Hell yes. And if you are coming down, let us know. Obviously, it'd be awesome to hear from you guys. If you are going down to the venue, give us a shout. Who do you want to see in those finals? Who do you want to see on those stages? Especially our G2 NRG. I mean, obviously the NA audience love a champion or two, and they might have one if it keeps going this way. May not be NRG, it might be Liquid, but I mean, in this game, it could be NRG.
For sure, for sure.
8 to 5, it's a reach, what I was going to say, and I kind of explained it myself, which is a little bit unnecessary, but exists.
Oh, that's quick. That's real quick
You're
from
doing
Cirque.
that for like the safety peak, just like, all right, I'll look up and over, oh, spotted, all right, I'll smoke. No, you get absolutely done for.
Cirque's dead.
That's naughty as hell. Somehow, still alive, Alex.
Yeah, he reacted so very quickly. He saw that bright red Molotov, or rather incendiary, flying towards Vents. He manages to get away, and that's important since Daps has fallen. Now the numbers are level, and oh, Shocks doing the flashbang dance as he peaked, but they have to retrieve that bomb. 30 seconds, the Molotov will force them away, should enable quick pickup. Shocks wants to threaten them though. And it's just safe. Breeze will be getting that bomb down.
We will make a Cirque du Soleil pun, but I'm just too tired. But he is putting on a clinic here. Really great round from him. That pick in middle created such an opportune moment for them to build off the back and the 2 to close. But NRG are just showing that they do have real powerhouse players as well. Daps clearly happy with it all.
Yeah, he's having a good time. Got to talk to him a little bit over in London.
I'd say desk and stuff like that. And
he said that just being on the desk made him want to play even more.
really?
Yeah, look at that first shot onto Smiths. He's had such a great round. Watch this one. Oh, it's supposed to be safe.
It's when you watch it on the demo, like, how is that not a
and
hand?
that was in slow-mo as well. Take
Yep.
note. Really didn't get that much long to adjust, but existence. Wow. CZ across the map finds Ethan. And another boost coming in. This is the second time G2 have tried it, and it didn't work out the boost itself. Fortunately for them, Kenny could see through walls.
Always a nice feature in it.
We do see the nice little bit of movement from Daps to retrieve. So, though they don't have the weaponry, they do have the numbers advantage, G2. And so things do take a much more passive stance from NRG. You can see them set up. Breeze responsible for the squeaky door push. Fugly looking towards B. As you can see, he's got the AWP in his hands. A double AWP on the T side. Likely going to have an AK waiting alongside him. And he does. Cirque, using his AWP effectively, catches the aggression through middle. And this is exactly what NRG were waiting for. Resistance in trouble as well. They knew they were on pistols. They knew they'd have to try and find some close quarters angles. And so this patience is being rewarded. Breeze heard the drop. He knows body's off boost. Info now. But will he anticipate Kenny? He is already up on the railing. It's usually a heavy favour towards the CT for the first frag at least, especially given now that he's got the info on body. Teammates starting to gather towards A. 30 seconds left.
Molotov going in, the routine begins. It's Kenny, as you said. Could be something to look towards. Breeze, unawares, makes it out of sight, but there we go. There's the resistance. Just did not expect it.
Yeah, Cirque manages to get Kenny on the descent, now all on Cirque. He had a great round before, and another shot onto Smiths, but nice work from Body. One tap of his M4 seals the deal and makes it 9 for NRG. 9-6, as that left me a little confused. 6 in total for the G2 side.
I don't know what to make of it yet. This is the thing with G2. You see moments where you're like, okay, this is it, but it just feels inconsistent, doesn't it? It feels like you can't bank on it. I'm worried about that T side coming up. But first impressions, I mean, this could be a bit of a brawl, but we've had some individuals for NRG.
Every member of NRG has done something crazy. This was crazy.
Else.
Look at that. Fugly and Breeze. It's probably one of the few times in their career they're going to die that way. But yeah, Breeze definitely a standout on this T side. He's actually rocking 12 frags alongside Cirque, who's had his moments. This is one of them.
That shot still baffles me. If I'm Existence, I'm livid.
And he got away with 13 HP. Remember I said he was dead? Nope, gets a double kill at the end of that round. It just shows just how important his survival was there in order to convert, in order to continue for his side. This could get very scary very quickly for G2 though. They're on the T side. This is where they did struggle.
Yeah.
Let's have a look how this one shapes up. A lot of nades. Shocks in Existence. They've got themselves that nice double smoke. Quad flash for them as well. And
NRG have 4 players on A, Alex.
they certainly do.
And they're being very aggressive. They could ruin all of this. Actually, no. Body is going to just stand and deliver. 2 kills with the Glock comes in, and suddenly NRG are absolutely battered.
Yeah, you
What's
stacked
going
it.
on?
Maybe not over yet. Ethan's trying to change things, but there's just so many of them. The Samurai swarming. tap away at Kenny. It's not an easy angle. Does last bullet from Cirque's USP. He's only got 7 left.
It's a 2v2.
It's a 2 versus 2. This looked like an open and shut case for G2 after Body's double frag at the start, but now I'm worrying about Cirque's pistol. He's only got 7 bullets left to find 2 with his teammate. Hopefully he's found one off the floor. Could scavenge away the Glock from Kenny if he's willing to take that risk. Instead, pushing in now, starting to get information. They know where they both are. Cirque starting to fire in the bullets. Existence catches Ethan. Cirque's in trouble, and it will be Existence's double to close. Panic over.
Panic on the A site. It's a great band.
See that again from Body's POV.
Look at this.
He was ready for it.
Oh, he's just pre-firing around on the second, like, yeah, all right, let's go. But I like the thing is for NRG, the read felt right. Like, they're in the right place, okay, push down Squeaky, but then you just lose out to Body.
Yeah.
But nice idea, though. But this gives, again, G2 the chance to get right back at the door. They won the first 3 on the first half and then almost made it 4 consecutively, but then they dipped that 1 round, so it kind of brought that momentum back for NRG, and obviously the money starts to become a bit of an issue. But G2 at the forefront here, money not bad. 2 rifles coming out, and we do see that MP5. Body and Kenny on that.
Stuff's coming out early. G2, they are on the warpath. As they, ooh, careful. They'll tickle into Kenny, and now Fugly and Breeze pipe up with the Desert Eagles, keep things level. 2 quick headshots into main. Existence trying to claw things back using that MAC-10 close range. It works. Cirque and Fugly then. They are starting to get some ground on the site. They want to be in a position, and Cirque's Deagle is spectacular. 2v2 now. Fugly's done it again. These Desert Eagles from NRG are hurting, and they are hitting hard. Just Existence then. Just catch a glimpse of one. Now he knows the flank's going to be coming in. This should be fine, but he's already low. He's been tickled down by the Deagle. Fugly, this could be the 3 from him. He knows where Existence is. Couple of warning shots. Bomb loose. Existence has to retrieve that. And Fugly's seen it now. He knows the situation. 40 seconds. Existence hoping to catch a lucky one through smoke. Fugly still has full health, but don't forget no Kevlar.
Time's a factor, Alex. We've got 30 seconds here. Existence needs to make his move, and he might just do it. 30 points of health. Fugly has to hit the shot. He does in Existence. Stalwart. And now will get himself comfortable into the 8th. That was close. Fugly, he did so much damage in that round and just couldn't quite handle the pressure. Was it 3? That was no, that would have been his third double for him. Whew. Sigh of relief. Yeah, we're sighing. It is scary, right? When you're in that situation, you're like, I'm a 1 shot. Yeah. If you just tag me. One of those 7 in his clip. You can see the opening from him. Look at that onto Smith. He gets a second later. Through the smoke. Oh, filth. Poor old Body. I mean, he did find the filthiest wallbang on this map, so... It's true. Not that much sympathy. The Body wallbang, God, that's gone. You know, you found something OP when they remove it. That was a weird chapter in Counter-Strike history, wasn't it? It's like, suddenly, why am I dying in mid? People just started oh, it's happening again. NRG. These pistols are so strong with them. Well, they're just, yeah, they've got the aim to back it up. So these $700 investments, they pay dividends. I actually really do. You think it's going to keep the money humble for G2, which is massive. It kind of slows down that swift build into the game where you get everything you need, but Kenny being cautious. You can see it all over them. Yeah. They're not taking this lightly now. And it's a good split towards B. There's a couple of players in their way, though. This should be easy. Should being the operative word. Kenny about to take that headshot angle. That is, of course, where the Deagle can pop off. Not to be, though, forced off as the aggression starts. Smiths is going to find the frag despite Body's pressure from the Galil. He pushes into the side. They want to make these angles awkward, and they're doing a fantastic job at it. Should be the end for NRG now. They've lost control of the site. Start losing control of their health if they're not too careful as well. Yeah, Kenny finds the head of Daps towards heaven, and that's where he's going. It's going to be 9. Do you believe in heaven? Bloody hell. Casual question. I like the idea of it. It's a good idea. But, that's my normal answer. Yeah, I like the idea of it, but I can't. You're not like believe. Straight in on it. No. Okay. Lovely idea though. Mm. I'd rather just believe in reincarnation. You know, come back as a squirrel or something. Would you like to be a squirrel? Big Hell yeah, man. Just digging holes and climbing trees. There are worse lives. Look at this. Breeze. He's going to get 3. Oh, he's got AKs for days. That's actually really awkward for G2. Look at their money. Oh, no. What have you done? That was supposed to be a very comfortable round. And while we're talking about squirrels, Breeze goes nuts. If people could see how proud you are of saying that.
That's insane.
You just looked at me like, I
Why-
have
why-
made the best line.
Why does Cirque look like he's having a power nap? Quick session of meditation before he jumps into the next one.
Can we go back to that? Like, what is that?
That's 3 AKs gone. That's Kevlar.
Oh,
That's
he's done now. Wait,
Yeah,
he was
okay.
looking like a note or something that's on his desk. I don't know. Interesting. Here it is. The most awkward.
Unos. DOS. And our host, Trace.
That's quite good.
Thank you.
Better
Yeah,
than
Ollie.
the nuts comment. Your face like lit up like,
I was like,
been
I can do
hilarious.
something with this.
It's all coming
squirrels,
together.
Yes. 9 to 9 though.
Well, look, and I think the big point is, as you highlighted, the money has been kept a little more humble than maybe they'd expect. So
Yeah.
this is a really good thing. If you are NRG, you got a lot out of something that was unexpected to be that good. 9-9 though, there's still a long road ahead for both of
Yeah.
these sides. G2 shows that they do have a lot of early game presence here, but the hit comes through and Ethan's still alive, playing very well on the edge of that smoke. Kenny receives a fair whack of the damage, and none of them are fully cleanly out on the site yet.
Bomb goes
There we
down.
go.
It's nice from G2, and now the pressure comes in for the retake. Ethan's close quarters. He's managed to make that work, and Kenny's hoping for a boost. Seems like a risk.
Oh.
And there we go. Gets up there safely from behind. Shock strikes and manages to catch Breeze in transition. But now the info is there. That Molotov's making things awkward for Existence as he has to push forward, and that exposes him to Fugly now, all on Shocks.
That
they
position.
know where he is.
He's gone the long way around though. This is going to be uncomfortable, but surely, as you said, they do. Oh, what? Through the smoke?
He's still holding it though. He's still holding it. A couple of seconds left. A 10-second defuse. He even rested his crosshair on Ethan through the smoke. He doesn't know, but we do.
Oh,
So close yet so far.
if he just shot a little earlier.
Yeah,
Oh.
one extra spray.
Yeah.
One quick adjustment.
It would've
One
been there.
stray bullet. Anything could have brought the 10th home.
And the HP was so low, it's actually obscene. Wow.
Solid work from NRG. The balls to go for the 10-second defuse. You know Shock's last seen on highway. He's not present there. The options are he's either coming from truck or he's coming from main. They hear the step eventually, and it's enough. 10-second defuse, no kit needed. And so a timeout called again by G2. Cirque doesn't need another meditation session.
Oh, it's a hand warmer.
It's a hand warmer. I think he was inspecting his hand warmer.
It might have instructions on it, like
Place in hand. Do not rip.
do not eat.
Like that silica gel that comes with your new shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was always intrigued by that.
Who's tried to eat it?
Yeah, like that.
Who's been that person?
Someone has at some point gone,
Ooh.
and not actually no. To be fair, it's probably just
Smack.
America, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Where
Yeah.
like
You
you
have
have to like coffee could burn.
Yeah.
Hot coffee.
Oh, Shocks get stabbed. We saw that yesterday as well with G2. They do
They-
like a knife in Spawn, don't they?
Yeah, they're in the FPL mindset. Let's have a look though.
It's not FPL, Alex.
Now pushing in. Oh, good dink, not enough. Body ready to receive. Gets the MP5 frag, and that will be an advantage to G2, albeit not potentially for long, because there is going to be aggression through middle, and Ethan looks poised to receive. Shocks is going to be tested, but backing away now was Fugly. He's the only player on B. He can't die trying to keep B safe, or rather mid safe, to excuse me.
Both teams really heavily leaning towards middle. You
this is
can
gonna
see
be
it
a
all over.
brawl.
Yeah. Breeze and Cirque, the timing is everything. Swing does not work for Breeze. The flashes weren't quite catching as he'd like, but we do have a resistance coming in from Ethan. Smiths and Shocks get punished. Bree into this 3v2. Body still being one of those players. He had that receiving damage very early on, so he's a little worse for wear, but these sites are feeling very sparse though. The CT side has one per site. It's not easy to hold.
Cirque does have his AWP though, and actually if he gets his frag on Existence, he can really swing things around. It's going to open up a whole different plethora of options. Backing away Existence, smart. Nice work
so
from
well
him.
played.
Good damage from Cirque, but now they have control of the site. Existence kept him busy, so he couldn't set up.
But look how quickly Cirque's got there. He's kind of circumnavigated around Existence. Fugly's going to try and find that challenge for him, but Cirque's a little further ahead than maybe you'd expect. Now, here comes the fight. Timing is excellent. Fugly gets her at the perfect time, and now this 2v2 begins. Body is your backup man. He's the last line of defense. Kenny has to put up numbers here, or at least be a nuisance, a hindrance, and slow them down. That's great work. One goes, the trade comes through, but the time is ticking. There was a kit on Fugly, but I do not see it on Cirque yet. Now it's there. And surely this is done.
Yeah, the Molotov is enough to secure it. Just go on a scavenging mission and pick that back up. Did get the kit eventually, but I think Body from the start picks up the first frag, and he manages to close it out as well with just a Molotov. No bullets necessary. And that will keep things equal. G2, they are putting up much more of a fight than they could yesterday. Puts them into this decider match. NRG as well. We saw them find initial success, in fact, in a very big way. A win versus, who was it? FaZe Clan, if I'm not mistaken, in the elimination match. They sent FaZe home here in New York 2018.
Wild to think,
yeah,
isn't it?
crazy. And now, after their shortcomings versus Liquid, not forgetting NRG, they picked up a map versus Team Liquid. But this is it, the decider match, to put them in the semi-finals, waiting to find out who will be playing Mouse Sports in the Barclays Center. Bit of a stack coming in from the CTs, 3 of them. Just going to be playing those close angles. It's just that AWP of Cirque, he saved it alongside the CZs, and I wouldn't write them out of this round.
No pressure on Cirque. Can we just open the map if you can really fast, or just look at the mini-map? It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Cirque is very alone. If they come B, it's only him. There's no one even nearby. Ethan's the closest. He's at truck. So,
Yeah. I mean, he has the AWP, so he can get that early info.
yeah, yep.
He can fall back, get the frag, all that good stuff.
I just asked for tea.
Ah, I thought so.
Yeah. We fancied a cuppa.
Let's have a look then. G2.
Oh, Cirque.
They haven't got any map control at all. G2, they're all just having a conversation, having a chin wag, and now finally set their sights on A.
The timing's going to be funny here because Cirque's going to get info, right? He's working his way up. He's like, okay,
Here
no
they
one's
come.
B, no one's here, no one's here, no one's here. That all gets relayed to Breeze, Fugly, Daps, Ethan. They're all going, okay, we're actually in the right place here, potentially. There's still a threat they could be walking up middle.
But
There's still that.
What can you do with an AWP on the flank? This is going to be very awkward for Cirque. Instead, though, the awkwardness starts for the pistols, and it works. Fugly gets one. Close quarters, it has to be chaos, and they're causing it. Kenny gets one onto Fugly. Smokes, flashes, and CZs galore as it's working. Cirque's even got one on the flank through main. Now just Body and Shocks. Shocks already low. Bomb will be retrieved, but 14 seconds on the clock. And again, NRG making these pistols look good. And oh no, Body! Oh dear, he finds the head of Shocks. It's a gorgeous shot, but it's your teammate. And that's the end of that one. Body's going to be saying, excusez-moi,
Not
very
like
loudly.
this.
Oh dear. Need to see that again. That was quick. I thought that was just a spectacular frag
was
until
like,
we saw the
wow.
kill feed. That's a weird one. Yep. They've done it again. NRG, they make every round, every half buy, every small buy, every deagle buy, they make it costly. They make it difficult for G2. You really can't count them out regardless
That's
of the buy.
a frustrated player as well.
Bang.
Just,
Imagine if he won the round like
Yeah,
Chucks. Just sit down, mate. I'll get this.
I've got this. But to be fair, this is something for NRG. Is their coach, is his name I'm a Pet?
I'm a
if I'm not
Pet, yeah.
mistaken. He's been very good at implementing those sort of things as well. I'm sure that he's had some sort of say in, these rounds that have kind of taken teams a little further.
That's
than-
clearly a predetermined
Absolutely.
CZ round. Yeah, and I
Absolutely.
mean, they had the luxury of the circle. They know they can just leave him on B.
And also the luxury of G2 walking in late and blind.
Yeah.
Always nice. Thank you.
Well, the clock makes things so much easier, right, for NRG, because they know
Yes.
that, right, there's 30 seconds left, and they're
They
coming
can't
A.
back.
Cirque's telling them they're coming A. Everything can just be chaos and
Yep.
delaying. Now, it looks like it's going to be boosty time for NRG. We're getting them up. Ethan just in the nick of time as he hears the door open. Breeze, he doesn't even have to go down. It is just pistols for G2, though. And so this is a nice little backup plan. Ethan can just sit there. And they won't be doing anything crazy while Ethan is positioned there. Talking of crazy, Body on the B site. He's done crazy things here. And he's got a whole lot of ground. Checking his corners. They're going to start working out that it has to just be on the site.
Hopefully. Not too
Needed
bad. He
that.
doesn't take too much damage as well. If you saw him getting weaker, I'd be like, oh, those pistols become real scary. Needs to find some time here for the others to get closer. Does exactly that. Actually, not much pressure off the back of it. I was really surprised they didn't swarm more towards him. But it's done. It's 12 rounds to the good now for NRG, and it looked scary. You had, Fugly a little low. I think it was Daps took a bit of damage as well, but it's like, well, they still had all these players alive. Their money's starting to become quite strong. The purchase now for G2 is everything they can buy, of course. It's not going to be too terrible. I think Shox can easily get an AK, bit of utility, whatever they need. On the other side of thing, I think they're still going to spread the wealth. Daps, and they put a lot of weight clearly on utility here more than Anything else is you're seeing the UMP out for Daps, but that's very viable. You've seen aggression coming through. They could just throw that in the mix if they fancy it. But we'll keep eyes on what happens here. It looks like G2 going aggressive towards A, and as NRG push towards main goes in, and the trades are favourable towards NRG. The flash was good. It caught a bit of both, really, but they have the man advantage, and they've got rid of that some of that utility, but they still retained a hell of a lot as well.
12 to 10 then. See how this one shapes up. I like Circ on B. I feel like it's hard
faith
for
in him?
Yeah, and it's very hard for G2 to circumnavigate his AWP. Thank you very much.
I'm here all week. Is Splendor the same as normal sugar?
It's fake sugar, yeah. Okay, still, this is an important game, and indeed, Body starting to feel that pressure. He's been tagged up on highway, does manage to make it work though, catches Daps. And now, G2, yes, they've got the frags, yes, they've kept it equal, but they've got no part of the map. Nothing is theirs. In fact, Breezy's pushed main. Their essential options are mid or B. Fugly's going to be rolling out middle too.
Yeah, Fugly's positioning is really good because it's working off the back of the information Breeze is getting.
Here they
and
come.
they're slowly working towards Cirque. Cirque needs to hold his line, and he is! That's why you have faith in this man. They do not get past checkers. They do not step towards site. Go straight to jail. It's done. Look at that money. It's 2.4k, 2.7. Smiths and Body with the most. This is a worrying sign now because money looks good on the other side for NRG. Full purchase here. Daps opting on the SMGs, it feels like. He's just sitting on those. Why not? If you want to just run at him, go for it.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough now for G2. Their essential options are just going to be, I mean, sure, have a go with the P250s, but you've got one round now before you're staring down the barrel of 15. Existence, he's going to be doing his classic. Yeah, this is very, very, we actually call it the existence timeout, right? Where you essentially just go in with nothing and have a chat, take the round nice and slow and use it as a quasi timeout. Saying that, a bit of aggressive positioning from some of his teammates as Existence still won't spawn. And Breezy, nice quick frag. Takes shocks out early. Wait, it looked like he died at T-spawn there. Didn't see that. So, T's starting to gather, and again, another one for Breeze. Someone tweeted me saying it is Breezy. I apologise. I will correct myself now.
Should we do a Breezy?
We'll go for Breezy. Because then you got it's easy for Breezy, right? That's a given.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'll be sure to
Oh,
say that
SMG
again.
farm as well. Let's get in on that.
Yeah, NRG, they're not too strapped for cash to close this one out. It is always going to be beneficial, though, especially given the fact that there are a potential more than 5 rounds ahead of us.
Yeah. What's
So,
on that pool as well? We've got, Overpass next. Have we cast an Overpass?
no, this is going to be our first overpass here in New York.
Hell yes.
I love a good overpass, me.
Yeah?
It was actually where NRG, if I'm not mistaken, took FaZe out of the equation. No, I'm telling a lie. Where did I see NRG overpass?
We'll
it
have
was
a look
versus
into
Liquid.
it.
It
Oh,
was,
okay.
yeah, they beat
How did
Liquid.
they play? Oh, they beat Liquid on
Beat
it.
Liquid on overpass.
Very nice. Okay, that's interesting. Are we seeing CT aggression again towards main? Ethan and Breeze are looking like they
I think he might
fancy
go
it.
quiet.
They're going dry on this as well. Look at Ethan. He's spicy. He's already in position. That's the thing. So the flash plays in Breezy, but Ethan's already there watching for the kind of like flash off or the peak off the timing of it. Shock's now going to apply pressure, try and isolate the players in main, but the trades have not gone well just yet for G2. You still have Cirque being a nuisance for at least one. He took down Body. He got traded back in on, but look at the positioning. Daps and Fugly dedicated towards B. You have Breezy, and Ethan over towards A. So it's like they don't have much mid control, but they're locking down the sites.
Yeah, very little map control so far from the T's. Kenny rattles off a shot towards B, hoping to keep some CTs there, and it's certainly working just yet. Fugly and Breezy alongside Daps. It's a 3-man stack from the CTs, but they are starting to transition, as are G2. Grouping up now. Shock's going to be the spearhead of this assault. Ethan, though, he did it with Deagles. I'm sure he can do it with M4s too. Long range as they emerge through that smoke. Not just yet, though. Time becoming a factor, and he's fallen off. It's a wide open A site.
Existence could play massives in this. We need to be looking at Existence right now. He does slow down one, catches the other. And while all this happens, we knew the bomb site was open. That's great. He now gets the information, and they surely know what's happening as well. This is going to be a bit of a play back in. If they can get a quick kill, then sure, it's game on. But Fugly so low, it does not bode well for them. Kenny S watching the finest of angles too. Means that Daps, Fugly, and Ethan about to run the gauntlet, and that gauntlet is littered with some incredibly talented players.
Yeah, Kenny's going to pretty much end that round now. One quick frag and they're going to have to back away. Ethan is moving towards highway. Charging forward, but already Daps looking to be hitting that save key. Ethan too. Smooth moves. Maybe going to catch an exit frag with his surprise positioning. He's already shown face towards highway, hoping Kenny overextends just a little bit, and it's not impossible. Look at that. Orb gone. They might be able to retrieve it, but he's holding the angle. Shock's too quick, too good. And they'll be scavenging that away for their comrade into the next. G2, they win an important round. They managed to keep things competitive. And NRG, they do have the cash to keep fighting.
And Cirque's been practicing his French. He was asking Body how to say a couple of things. It was quite
What did he
cute.
say?
It was like,
Bonjour,
how are you, bro?
bonjour, ma belle. That means, hello, my beautiful. Nice one, Cirque.
He's working on it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Cirque.
Watch out. You, Parisians? Is that what you call them? The ones from Paris?
Yeah. I think so. I'm sorry if it's wrong. I'm pretty sure it's right. Aggression again on both fronts. I like that. A little bit of a show towards B, bit of a play. Back of it, Ethan can't get away with this time. He's getting pushed here. Poor old Ethan's like, this is horribly awkward. I hate it.
The definition of a panic smoke.
Just wang it in the corner. That'll do. And
He's not. Is he pushing?
Hello, Ethan, you're ballsy. So he loses out initially. Wangs the smoke in the corner.
Wangs.
And then just goes, I'm going back in.
I mean, look, he definitely has the element of surprise. It surprised us. It certainly didn't surprise Shocks, though. Raring to go. Actually, despite the action on A, Shocks' activities have kept Daps and Breezy, do excuse me. But they start the walk here, coming into B. Fugly to receive them. He's going to be on just on the edge, and he gets one. That's the bomb loose, but Body quick to trade. 48 seconds, no rush here, and
Kenny.
It's big, it's easy. Cirque gone, now gone. And that should be another round for G2, saying that Breezy's not going to go down without a fight. And instead, just takes his teammates up, and we scattering. Try and keep that one safe.
Good plan. Good idea. Get out of there. No rush. Now let's look at what G2 have done in the last couple of rounds. They're keeping players alive. They're not playing, this, there's not too much to it. It's not these crazy out there sort of takes. They're not doing anything massively complex. But these clean hits, Kenny's positioning to find Cirque then was really nice. Just basic, but it's that Cirque was trying to get there to stop that bomb being across, to hinder that play towards site, not having it. He was straight there, Kenny, eagle-eyed, really well done. So I like that from him. Good to see that happening. And I just hope we see a bit more from this from G2. This could be their resurgence. Money's not going to be phenomenal for NRG. They are leading, sure, but they haven't been able to build up that huge fund. They should be fine to repurchase, maybe spread the wealth a little.
Sure.
I think Ethan's a little lower than he'd like, potentially, but it's not the end of the world. Fugly's not great either, but they have enough for a buy.
And yeah, I think that this makes a lot of sense. And NRG are going to take a quick timeout just to get their funds and buy correct. It's sometimes when it does get to these awkward situations, you want to have that extra time just to get your head around how you're going to be doing it. Okay, you drop me this, I'll buy this, I'll make sure that I'll take the utility, you will sacrifice that for this. It's just, sometimes it's a conversation that takes a little longer than 15 seconds. I would assume there's not too much more being discussed as the timeout's over, as is the buy. They're all set up. And interestingly enough, equipment value, nice little stat there you can see, pretty dead on.
That CT life is expensive.
It is.
Need better suppliers, you know what I mean? Like, after all these years, you think, we should probably get something cheaper.
Yeah, those M4s ain't cheap.
Yeah, the AKs, they're cheaper and better. What's going on? That's
The
just
Kalashnikov, it's classic.
not known for its accuracy, but apparently this version, banging.
Carry it through a muddy puddle, it still fires.
Yeah, 14 to 12. Let's keep eyes on what they go for here. What differences do we see, if any? Kenny looking for early aggression for the CT side, catching them if they tried to walk through that smoke towards B. Body doing the same. No one's really opting for that just yet. We see the boost towards Vents from Fugly, a double stack towards Highway. Breezy and Daps over there. But G2, not in a hurry. You take your time. You've got all the utility in the world. You've got that firepower. You have what you need. You do not need to rush. You just need to ensure that you punish them if they try and get into your face and do anything, a little quirky. Because no one likes the people who call themselves quirky.
Or people that get in their face and act quirky.
Yeah. Bubbly personalities.
Bubbly.
What?
Has the word ever been used in a positive way?
No.
I'd always take it as an insult.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex, you're just such a bubbly guy.
Oh, so I'm obnoxious and probably overweight.
So
Cool.
I'm irritated. Cool.
Thanks.
14 to 12. NRG, they got close to this final mark, but G2, they have found pace. They do seem to thrive under this pressure. As now it's been, what, 2 in a row, looking for the third. Closer and closer to the equalizer. Not necessarily going to be easy here because Breezy and Daps are on highway. Here come the nades, and here comes the pain. Ethan tagged up just a little bit, down actually to 39.
Time.
They're changing their mind.
25 seconds, you can't. There's
G2.
still a bit of utility here. Ethan's pretty isolated, but the more time he buys, the better. And with Fugly hearing nothing, Cirque's now freed up to come back around, and here comes the hit again, but they're flashed up. This T-side.
14 seconds.
What is going on, Alex? They still haven't made the hit count.
This could be a problem, but never mind. 3 frags in quick succession, 1 from Kenny, Smiths and Body, respectively.
Wow.
And just like that, they take a leaf out of the book of Na'Vi. And they make that work. 14 seconds. The CT start to rotate. They're all in the right place. Doesn't matter. Great work from G2. Just 3 quick frag, counting on your individuals, and it works wonders. That will be 13.
That is a lot of faith to put in on the individuals to land those shots, even in such a pressure situation. As Fugly plays out of the vents, going to get the upgrade to the AK, but if he can keep hold of it, that'd be surprising. It looks like we might be seeing this go all the way here.
Yeah, Fugly just ordered an AK on Uber Eats. Shox was the delivery driver. Knocked on the door. Fugly answered. Not going to keep hold of it, though. So, 14 now to 13 as the high fives come in. Every single high five makes a... Oh, that was more of a handshake. Like a congratulations.
A gentleman's.
Yeah, a gentleman's
Yeah.
fist bump. And not looking like a completely unfazed NRG by this comeback from G2. This should be 14-14 unless something crazy happens.
We know that they like having plans, but this time they don't have that same... I guess,
Luxury.
yeah, they didn't have the AWP there. They can't just do what they did before. They still have to try and really force the issue. Which they're trying to do, it seems. A bit of a boost coming in, but Ethan still does find shots.
Yeah, he pushed up, and that's going to keep their attention away from this counter boost. Does not get away. Fugly trying to dart away with his winnings. Counter boost, they knew it. They've spotted it. Stop Breezy from trying to make it work. Existence will shut him down, and now just a USP from Cirque. That was a low HP player, and instead just a bit of a tag towards the Belgian Existence. Newest addition to G2. The new G2 roster. Of course, Smiths was in the coaching position, now finds himself back in the server. An interesting story in itself, really. Yeah, he couldn't handle the heat. A lot of community pressure on him.
Caster pressure on him.
A lot of criticism towards him. Finds himself certainly not being the star, but providing for his team in a similar way. 14-14 now.
And to be fair to Smiths, like, he's doing fine as well. Like, he came off the bench, coaching essentially, came back in, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
I like watching the guy play, but that all aside, the hit is coming towards A. Ethan and Daps put to the task, and they're not really up to the plate. Say his name and he appears. It's Smiths to start this one off with a bang. Ethan goes down, and the site is all theirs. G2 again. Nothing complex about it, but they're just very comprehensive hits towards the sites.
That's 5 in a row. So easy, and so many saves coming out from NRG. They are probably going to get hunted down. You can see Body's definitely on the warpath. Trying to check all of the likely save spots. Cirque's going to be in one of them towards Toxic. And actually, if I'm G2, I'd be scared to go any further than where I am currently. They are flush for cash. They won't have any troubles, but still, this is not going to be an easy frag for them.
I guess it's worthwhile trying to take it out of the hands. If you look at the money that's left for NRG, it's very limited in that aspect, I guess. Even with the repurchase value coming in. Breezy. Breezy. Desperate to hold
Molly on the AWP.
Oh, he's going to get it. Just gets a little bit of a, the lick on the hands from the fire, but nothing too bad. 15-14 though, and look how vital it was to keep hold of those weapons. Even though they did lose out on one of the 3, they still have 2 left over. They have an M4 there. They have the AWP on whoever wants to pick up Cirque, obviously. Well, but they can just about a decent enough purchase. Like, they'll still have some missing factors.
Well, yeah, Cirque can drop him, drop an M4 if he wants to, unless he needs nades. Can equip up Daps, who can't afford the M4 Kev. Looks like instead. Wait, so Dap.
Why?
It's 15-14. Cirque still has. Okay, he's going for the nades instead.
Yeah.
Okay, Dap's willing to make that sacrifice. He'd rather see his AWP with all the nades. Yeah, the in-game leader, of course.
No one's won. Don't you play that music?
Close though. Pressure starting to mount. This is it. one more round then for NRG if they want to take us to OT or G2, a T side.
Double AWP on T side as well to potentially close.
Well, it's working for Kenny. Quick, fast frag. You don't often get away with that here in Tier 1 Counter-Strike, but he does. Catches Fugly early.
Yeah.
And now NRG, if they want to take us to OT, they have to work from a deficit. This could be problematic. They don't have to rush. They don't have to panic. They don't have to get flustered. Because right now they are just going right back to basics. Body, long way away. I think that double AWP there is going to be holding that B side. It's one of the most effective angles. If he does keep it instead, though, takes the AK and will do so from afar either way.
Again, I look to NRG as to what's the answer here. What have you come up with? Have you found a way through this? It looks like Ethan Switch Up is playing mid rather than A on his own. It's a very unique change, and maybe it's going to pay off. He does get one, gets away, but where's the stabilizing factor? Where's the next piece in the puzzle to work out? Bringing it back to 4v4 is excellent, but he was dealing with the hits that hindered them. That's the hard point. Smith's in the position where he's going to hold mid as they hit A. Breezy is big in this situation. He needs to... Oh! Shocks takes his head off.
That's huge from Shocks. What an adjustment. He was low. It was Truck. It was Ethan who applied the pressure, but a quick flick makes this look close to over. It's just Cirque and Ethan to be the heroes for NRG. Cirque does draw blood, catches Smiths towards Highway, now advancing. The bomb not down yet, and it's actually loose. They have to walk into his sight line to retrieve it, and Cirque still poised on that one. They do so. Bomb will be going down. And so now time on the side of G2. Cirque's got a problem trying to retake. He does have that Molotov. We talked about the buy. Maybe it will pay dividends if he forces him off the site instead, though.
What?
Shocks?
What?
Shocks? What just happened? I need to see that again. Either way, Kenny, he may have just walked into his own molly. I don't know what just happened there. Either way, now Kenny's dead and we're going to overtime. Huh? Shocksy.
Give us a replay, please.
It looked like he was hugging the wall.
It didn't...
Good. Okay.
Hold on,
2v2.
we're waiting for this.
Time's ticking away. Shocks.
Okay, hold on. Let's watch this again. Right. So, Kenny's the one in main.
Yeah, Shocks. It's a molly.
Okay, yeah.
He tried. Wait, did you just walk through? Oh, it spread.
It spread to him.
Spread.
Oh,
wow.
It spread at the last second of that. Look at it, dissipated as well, literally a second later.
That's insane.
To be fair, all right, let's put it to this, though. To be fair, Shocks got them to that situation.
He did. He
took him out of it, but...
Ethan's handiwork early, though, that tag we talked about, got him low enough to make that molly spread hurt.
Oh, my God. 15-15.
What a horrible
It's
way to lose a round.
OT. That could have been job done.
That could have been it. We could be starting to talk about
Overpass.
Overpass, our next map. Oh. Instead, we venture into overtime. Does look like it's max money, so 16k MR3. And we start our adventure. You made a great point, though, Lauren, about the fact that NRG have struggled with these grouped-up takes. Yeah. They've been much more successful when they get the early frag and they can just profit off of that. Shocks, look at this. Unfazed by his slip-up. He's actually going to have a free frag onto Ethan and now goes wide towards Highway. He should get a second here, and he does. Great work from the star of this French roster. He couldn't handle leading and fragging. Couldn't do them both to the level he felt he wanted to, and now with Existence there, he can just focus on the fragging. Breezy does it to him, though. 25th frag for him as we venture into overtime. First round of it.
This is far closer, though, than we've seen before. This is a lot more impact being done by NRG initially, and Cirque in a good spot this time. Slows it down. That's the bomb gone loose as well, Alex. That's a big blow. But keep your eyes on Fugly and Breezy as well, as you were pointing out to me. I could see you having a little tap on the desk. They are going for a little bit of a wrap around the back, and that's a nice idea.
Yeah, they can surprise them by being in main far too quickly for G2 to process. I say that. Existence going all the way back towards Squeaky Door. He's anticipating the flank, but he won't be ready for Fugly so quickly. Kenny's going to be the first port of call for NRG. Existence coming behind Fugly. Fugly can hear it. This should be an easy frag. It's not, though. Existence down to 12, 2v2. And that was the wild card gone now from NRG.
Oh,
Kenny's under pressure, and no worries on the first. There is for the second. Breezy now 1v1. He knows where Existence is. He's holding it. Existence, no time. He has to push through the smoke. He's just going to defuse in front of his face. Brave from Breeze, and he gets another 3 in the round.
I think Existence got caught on the wall then. I don't know if he was like trying to find his way out by walking against the wall,
but he just got stuck?
Not completely.
No
maybe
way.
looking for the lineup on it. I just don't think he expected that straight defuse either. Obviously, that's one part of it.
Whew.
But I'd love to watch that back just from his perspective. I know that sounds stupid because it's the least exciting thing, but I'd be curious if he was looking for that as a way to get through, just like looking against the wall. But all that aside, it will be the first one in OT going to NRG. and their money continues to sit well as it is OT, of course. This may be a bit of a change factor. Their money wasn't great throughout that regular time. Existence has had enough. He's frustrated, and he's taking it out on NRG. Mid-take in action.
That's an aggressive mid-take. Smith's following suit, just jumping out through with Existence. They both get a frag, and that gives them the man advantage now, G2, as this second round of our overtime here for first map of our last series of the group stage for ESL One New York. That's the hosting thing.
There's discos.
Yeah. You don't mind that?
No,
Is
I
that
love
okay?
it. Love a bit of it.
Ooh, Cirque exposing himself for that smoke. You can throw it safely. Doesn't choose to do so. Doesn't have to pay the price. Bomb down, though. Fugly, he did this before. Smiths is ready for it this time, though. He'll have to check his corners in the meantime, though. NRG, they have the chance to go for this one. Fugly gets it, catches him, and upgrades to the AK on the way in. Time ticking away, though. Nice molly. That'll force them off quad, and they're going to be close quarters. Cirque knows it, switches to the CZ. That sidearm does damage in a CQB environment, and never mind. He's made the AWP work as well. Catches getting towards Squeaky. NRG are doing this. It's all on Shocks, and you got to find him as well. That will be the 17th for NRG as they just swarm every angle, every possible angle of assault. And the defenders find another. 2 in a row now. Into OT, looking to convert, looking to complete the set. And yeah, with this full money, double AWPs are even coming out. Looks like Daps wants to treat himself. No UMP scene.
Exactly. he's the glow up here. He's like, all right, regular time. I'm here with the UMP doing the best I can. And I was like, all right, I'll treat myself. I'll get a little off-white, you know, AWP.
Oh yeah, Breezy is a hype beast for sure.
You reckon?
Oh yeah, watch out for him, man. He shows up on like media day. He's wearing like all of the hype beast gear.
All of it.
Yeah.
Like in just one
Coming
go.
to an Instagram post near you.
I cannot wait for that streetwear subreddit to really get into it. We are seeing aggression though. This is the first time we're seeing it towards B as well. Very assertive too. Deep smoke.
Yeah, and the sprays from Fugly, though they are of course looking for frags, they're also making quite the statement to G2, which is just get away from B and me. And it achieves it. You can just back away to checkers, and that will just shave time off the clock. As that's going to be a process of retaking it. They don't know if he's toxic. They haven't got that information, and so if they did want to hit B, it would be much slower, thanks to the initial maneuvers of Fugly. Towards mid again, though. Oh, I think he can. No, he can't. He has to drop off, and another Molotov as well. They are starting to head back towards B, and this is what we were talking about now. They have to start procedurally clearing the route to B.
And there's still utility with the players on there. So Fugly and Cirque are still okay. That double AWP's really nice for this. Ethan's being aggressive towards main. I like that, so he can be left alone. Daps is now freed up to be able to kind of rotate over. You're looking on the T side. Smith's the one with the bomb, and he's not fully committed. The Molotovs are being kind of put down to push players into more predictable positions that work better for them. Fugly just being the flash man right now, he is taking a little lower. He's down to 40. He was on that little exchange with Body, and it does look like it's go time.
Cirque, pressured. Going to try and find one, and they're not going to connect. That's a problem. Fugly, he peeks out while blind. Cirque, in the meantime, keeping him safe and sound. Look at this guy go! Already 3. It could be 4. Cirque's done all the hard work, and now just Shocks. He's got some hard work ahead of him. 10 seconds. He does get the bomb and should get the plant. That Molotov's going to force him to plant safe. What's this? 5 seconds. He goes for the frag. Brave. He knew he was going to get pushed. Daps too smart for him, and that will be 18.
It's getting like flashbacks to Nami. Here's the Molotov go down. It starts to spread. He doesn't want to go near it. He chooses the bullet. just
it's the flames. PTSD for sure.
Yeah. Now, big difference maker coming through.
Watch this again.
Yeah.
1.
This was so
2. Just every angle, a brand new one. Darting back left and right. And that's just single-handedly holding B. So cool.
It's so well done, and there's no utility pressure towards that spot. You molly off the kind of default, I guess, or not necessarily default, but, you know, behind the boxes. Headshot, you've already cleared it. And then you're just kind of allowing him to peek back out, back out, back out. It's the perfect position for it. Obviously, it's pressured, because normally they're just powering on the site, and you feel like I can only make one shot out of this.
It's very hard to do what he just did.
Yeah.
You're going to get pre-fired. You're going to just walk into a single AK bullet.
He got away with it.
Yeah.
Completely. No one was actively pre-firing, facing it. He got away with it somehow. And the big difference maker is look at that half score line. Considering what we saw before, where NRG were really struggling to contain G2's hits, and they didn't quite have that synergy on it. They were just getting a little bit outdone. Those A hits were really dominant. That's a clean run for NRG.
It certainly is. And now they've got 3 opportunities to close this one out. 3 rounds. They need 1. On their T side, they actually had a fantastic run. Let's not forget, 9 rounds on the D side from NRG. This time they only need 1. 4 AKs in the AWP. Standard setup from NRG. None of that double AWP T side that we saw from G2. Got them the round they needed, though. Aggression towards a main. Existence getting a boatload of information. He's actually had a boatload of frags as well. Notice 26 from Existence. Often seen as one of the in-game leaders that can't pack a punch. This time it's Daps to knock him out. Shot to the head. Forced to watch as this round and potentially this map slip away.
Kitty scares me when he ever goes near that
He's
area.
so hyper-aggressive. He's responsible. He is essentially counting on Shocks to watch Highway and Squeaky while he aggressively peeks main. The door's now open. He's boxed in. He's in a very awkward situation, and he's still trying to bail himself out of this. He's going hyper-aggressive again. Breezy not falling for any of his tricks. Shocks, though, trying to save the day, and he does a fantastic job, too. Body with 2 of his own. Now all on Daps as the bomb goes down. Shocks, they've dug themselves out of this situation. They will get the round. Great work from G2. Box and Shoddy. Shocks and Body. Double kills
Box
apiece.
and Shoddy.
Box and Shoddy. That sounds like a kid's TV show.
Yeah. I see like a little box with like eyes on it, and Shoddy's a little yellow car.
I think he's made
in
of
my
clay.
head. Oh, he's a
Shoddy's made of clay.
Just a
Shoddy.
I
That
just
was a
snorted.
snort. You cool, bro?
No.
That was a proper snort.
I know, it's very rare you're this funny, Alex.
I know, yeah.
I know.
Once a year.
It's happened.
I'm so proud.
Oh,
Okay.
help me.
Double AWP, here we go.
To 18, and Shocks was your saving grace then. Those, was it 2 kills he got then were just perfection. And yes, he may have taken them to OT, but he also kind of got to that point as well. He's providing a lot. That all aside, Smith's on the up towards B. He's going to be given a lot to do all by himself if they do end up going that way. And double aggression towards Squeaky. 2 players working their way forward. Body was on the receiving end of this before at the very start of this matchup, and he delivered, and he's going to be seeing how this feels now. 1-for-1 trade, not so bad, though.
The door closed.
Oh, that's
Ethan
not good.
punishes him for his good manners. And so things take a slow down. NRG, they realise this round could be it. As was the round before them, fortunately for them. Box and Shoddy showed up. Smoke on the cross, mollying towards the truck, all very default. Doesn't necessarily mean the push. In fact, it does pull Smiths off B, though. Yeah, changing his mind. Nothing, no follow-up. He's going to reposition back on towards B. They are starting to get some mid-control as well. Smiths, you have not been the fiery fragger. And now it's all on you to keep this B site safe. He hears the vents break. There's so many cues. He knows it's coming, but can he spring to action? That is the question. 38 seconds.
All right, we've seen what Sir can do from this position. He's shown him that, all right, I can still do it from the other side, but Kenny is a different beast.
This is not good. Down to 46 and forced to back away from heaven. Good utility usage from NRG. Bomb in as well, courtesy of Ethan. Existence is on the flank, though, and Cirque should get caught off. Now a 2v2. Close. And that's not expecting the second. Fugly, it's all on Kenny to try and save G2, but it's Ethan to close it, and that is it. NRG pick up the first map. It had to go overtime. G2, they put up a fair fight, but couldn't convert, and it will be NRG 1-0 up in this series and one step closer to the Barclays Center here at ESL One New York. This team just keeps on giving.
Certainly do, Alex, and that is a really succinct way to kind of wrap this one up. They played a phenomenal game, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching that, so I cannot wait to see what happens in the next couple of matches. We have Overpass and potentially Inferno if required, so that looms. But for now, we take a short break, a breather as such, to let the players catch their breath after that pretty intense OT, and ourselves as well. So guys, we'll be back in just a second.
My, oh my, what a thrilling showing that one turned out to be on Cash. Going the full distance, all the rounds, and what could potentially be all the maps. Both teams seeming on par here, and of course we've got Sponge and Maniac to try to break down some of that action where in which it all came to fruition. Maniac, being that you are somewhat a resident of that French scene in a roundabout, lengthy, drawn-out sort of diagram way, tell me what is your diagnosis here? What do you got, Doc?
Well, it really wasn't so bad for G2, I want to say. I think the first half, even though it ends up 9-6, was actually all NRJ, all the way.
Sure.
So we're talking pistol round won by G2 converted, and then the 5th round where KennyS gets the double collateral wall bang, which I had never seen in my life. So that was 4-1 G2, ends up 9-6 NRJ. They were all over the place. They had the A execute, the double pub, they had the B execute, the fast mid take. G2 found no solution, and at the end of the half, they started being more aggressive. They started taking main, taking mid control. They got into good situations, but they could never convert the round.
I think, if you look at the way that they were able to win rounds, well, very few rounds in their previous cage game they had in the tournament, it was with AWPs, right? And you need a lot of economy to be going in that way, and you can't be getting dictated to. But when you win both pistols, you have a miracle round like that one from Kenny. They had a couple of other close clutch rounds that went in their favor, and you still can't pull off your map choice. Look, it's not fantastic. And look, if you listen to all the interviews that the G2 guys have been giving since the inception of this team, they've been doing a very good job at managing expectations, right? Oh, it's going to take us some time. It's a work in progress. The thing is, the Apex and MBK team that was together was at least, making it to playoffs. Whereas this G2 roster, they haven't really been able to formulate anything.
That double wall bang was absolutely ridiculous.
I've never seen
It's not something you see every day. Moreover, that you're likely to ever see again. But yes, Chad, I do believe you're exactly right. However, we can start this conversation maybe also around the energy side. It's a really strong T side showing from these guys. Tell me what was going right for them.
Well, as I said, I thought they had a very diversified T side. They were able to play both the A and the B side, fast or slow. They could sometimes mix it up with the fast mid take. So G2 really had no idea what was happening. They were forced to go aggressive to win these rounds. So NRJ, then again, in my opinion, with a good game plan, they could have closed it earlier. That's what I say. It wasn't so bad for G2 because the fact that they make it back from 14-10 to potentially winning the map if Shux doesn't burn his own
Look, here it is right here.
Which is exactly what's happening on the screen.
Yeah, we know the Molly spread though.
At this point, G2 can win this map 16-14.
Yeah. Well, you just saw there one of the other defusers that Breezy sat. They did that a couple of times, right? Like, there's a few occasions there where they got, I don't know if it's lucky in those clutch scenarios, but sitting the defuse isn't outplaying your opponent. Well, maybe it is outplaying your opponent. It depends on the way you look at it. But there were back and forth swing rounds that could have gone either way. I just think, like you said, early stages, it was all the traffic going for NRG, the players looking on point. And then it kind of sucked when Shox. Well, it didn't suck. Depends which fan you are. Well, you a French fan? You like French people?
I did just spend a week in Normandy, so there is that.
Is that a yes?
I'm talking about the opportunity we have now to hear from the sidelines. James Banks is down there, probably causing a ruckus, and moreover, let's hear what he had to say. I think he caught up with someone from NRG.
Thank you, Stunner. I am joined by I'm a Pet. Now you guys have walked away with the victory. It did go to overtime. Cash, you've had at least over the last few months good results on, but it's maybe not your best map. We'll be moving on to that shortly. Were you a bit surprised by G2's picking into Cash?
I don't think we're too surprised because they picked it versus Liquid. I guess they just like it a lot because it's pretty insane to pick it versus Liquid. I think Liquid said it's like their favorite map, so we prepared for it. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted because it went overtime and we lost both pistols. I think if we didn't lose both pistols, it wouldn't have been like that.
Yeah, you definitely could have avoided the overtime in that sense. But now we move on to Overpass, where it is the favorite map for you guys. Is there like a game plan, or are you just sticking to your guns on kind of how you normally play it?
I think we're just going to play normal, like how we want to, because they haven't played it much with that lineup. They lost to like Wendigo or something online. Yes. Yeah, so we're not really that stressed. We're just going to play how we normally do.
And what would you say, obviously, going up against a lineup like G2, they've got players that really can be game changers in it, but they seem to be kind of missing something at the moment. So just from your kind of perspective, what do you think was lacking there from them?
Honestly, the series is so hectic, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they just need to calm down and like keep their nerves still, because they were making a lot of weird plays, like a lot of pushes when they were man down, which I understand, but it was a bit excessive.
Well, thank you very much, I'm a Pet, and good luck going into Overpass as well. I'm sure you guys got a lot to talk about going into that, and just kind of what is going on with G2. Can they pull this back?
One thing we're going to do here is pull it back into the Microsoft flagship store. Of course, bringing it back really quickly, guys, let's kind of talk just in some closing words here on Cash.
Closing words on Cash. I think he summarized it quite nicely in saying if they hadn't lost both pistols, they would have won the game a lot more concisively. And you did have a few miracle rounds come out from the G2 side. But it's more positive signs, and it feels like Kenny S and Shox are both online in this, at least in that first map. So if they can carry that through to Overpass, there is a chance. And they can catch them off guard with executes. So as we move forward, as it was touched on there by the coach, I'm a pet, there isn't a lot of research to go on for G2 on this map, so they can actually throw a lot of curveballs at them, whereas the only thing you can do if you're NRG is play and react, and that's one of the things that a more inexperienced roster is going to have to deal with, and we're going to see how they get tested.
Testing them will be the case here, as they will be experiencing a bit of a pop quiz as we go into our next map. It's going to be a little bit of Overpass, and boy, I, for one, cannot wait to see who wins this one. Let's go ahead and go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be jumping right back into it.
ESL One New York.